You know, in all my years of listening to people, their struggles, their regrets, their hopes, there is one truth I keep coming back to. Healing does not begin in hospitals. Healing does not begin with medicine. It begins with the way we speak to ourselves. Most of us, we've spent a lifetime being hard on our own hearts. We say things to ourselves that we would never say to someone we love. We call ourselves weak, foolish, not enough, and the body hears every word. I've seen it in so many people over the age of 50. Their wounds are not just in their joints or their nerves or their bones. Their deepest pain lives in the places where they have been unkind to themselves, often for decades. But here is the gentle truth Buddhism always reminds us of. The body responds to kindness, the cells soften, the breath deepens, the heart begins to trust again. So I want to invite you to try something simple. The next time you wake up in the morning, before reaching for your phone, before thinking of what needs to be done, just place your hand over your chest for a moment. Feel that quiet rhythm. The heartbeat that has never abandoned you, not even once, through grief, through sleepless nights, through illnesses, through seasons of loneliness. This heart has been fighting for you long before you even noticed. Whisper something to yourself, not something grand, just something true. Something like, I am doing the best I can. I deserve rest. I am worthy of kindness. Say it slowly. Say it gently. Say it like you would to a child who just needs to feel safe. Because we are all still carrying that child inside. And when you do this, you will notice something subtle but unmistakable. The body begins to exhale. The stomach loosens. The shoulders relax. The breath becomes warmer. This is the body saying, thank you, I can heal now. Healing does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it is simply choosing softer words, choosing patience, choosing to begin again. I know life has not always been easy. I know you've had to be strong even in moments when no one saw your effort. But you are here now, still breathing, still learning, still capable of change. So be gentle with yourself today. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love deeply. Because the truth is, the way you talk to yourself is the first medicine, and it is one that your body has been waiting for a very, very long time. Now, let us talk about another form of healing, one that asks for no effort, no knowledge, no special belief, just your presence. Walking. But not the kind of walking we do while rushing to appointments, checking the phone, or thinking about what we forgot to do yesterday. I'm talking about mindful walking. Walking as if each step is a quiet conversation between you and the earth. You see, in Buddhism, walking is not simply a way to move from one place to another. It is a way to return home to yourself. When we slow down and pay attention to our steps, the ground beneath us becomes something sacred, something alive. And the earth in her quiet wisdom meets us halfway. I've seen this many times, especially in those of us who have lived long lives full of responsibility, full of carrying others. The body begins to hold the stories we have never spoken, the weight in the shoulders, the heaviness in the chest, the tightness in the lower back. We don't need to solve those stories all at once. We only need to walk gently, slowly, and let the earth listen. The next time you step outside, try this. Walk as if there is no destination. Walk for the sake of walking. Feel the heel touch the ground, then the arch, then the toes. Feel the breath rise and fall like waves against a shore that's seen everything and still accepts you. Inhale, I arrive. Exhale, I am home. Each step becomes a reminder. You are not separate from the world around you. You are part of the great rhythm of existence, the tide, the wind, the seasons, the stars. There is a beautiful teaching that says, when your feet kiss the earth kisses you back. As we age, many of us feel the world moving too fast. Technology, noise, urgency, endless instructions to hurry. but your healing will never happen in hurry. Healing happens in slowness. When your steps slow down, your thoughts slow down. When your thoughts slow down, your heart returns to its natural pace, and the body finally finds a place to rest within itself. Just a few minutes each day, a quiet street, a small garden, even the hallway of your home. You do not need mountains or temples. Your own path can become a sacred place. And perhaps the most profound thing, the more you walk this way, the more you realize you were never alone. The earth has been carrying you your entire life. You just didn't feel it until now. So today, just walk, not to get somewhere, but to come back to yourself. Each step is a heartbeat, each breath is a prayer, and every moment is a chance to begin again. You know, as we grow older, the body becomes more honest than the mind. The mind can pretend, the mind can endure, the mind can tell others I'm fine, but the body will always speak the truth. And it speaks through how we feel after we eat. In Buddhism, food is not just nutrition. Food is energy. Food is memory. Food is relationship between you and your body, between you and the earth, between you and your peace. When monks eat, they eat slowly, not because they must, but because they understand something many of us forget. What we consume does not end in the mouth, it becomes us. Every cell, every drop of blood, every breath is shaped by what we place on our plate. As we age, the body no longer tolerates what the mind once ignored. Processed foods, refined sugars, hurried eating in front of a screen, meals taken during stress. These things exhaust us in ways we don't notice until years have passed. So I want to invite you to return to something simpler. Not a diet, not restriction, not fear of food, but respect. The next time you sit down to eat, pause, just for a moment. Look at the food. Feel gratitude for the soil, the sun, the rain, the hands that harvested, cooked, prepared. Take one slow breath before the first bite. This one act alone can change the entire way your body receives nourishment. Eat just a little slower. Chew just a little longer. Taste just a little deeper. When you do this, something beautiful happens. Your nervous system calms, your digestion softens, inflammation decreases, your body no longer feels attacked, it feels supported. The truth is, healing does not only come from what you eat, but how you eat. A bowl of simple vegetables eaten in silence can heal more deeply than a feast eaten in distraction. A cup of warm tea can soothe the heart better than a pill when taken with presence. So choose foods that feel alive, foods that feel close to the earth, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, warm broth, herbal teas, not as rules but as acts of kindness to your body. And when you eat, let it be nourishment, not escape. Let it be care, not habit. Let it be a moment of returning home. Because your body does not need to be forced to heal. It only needs the right conditions. It only needs your gentleness. So today, eat slowly. Eat gratefully. Eat like your body is something sacred. Because it is, and it always has been. You know, there is a kind of healing that does not come from words or practice or even understanding. A healing that happens simply by being in the presence of nature. For most of our lives, we have been surrounded by walls, routines, schedules, expectations. We forget that the body was not born in a house, nor in a city. It was born in the open air, under the sky, beside the earth, among the trees. When we step into nature, even for a few minutes, something ancient within us begins to remember. The mind quiets, even without being asked. The breath softens, almost on its own. The heart loosens like a fist that no longer needs to clench. It is like going home. Home not as a place, but as a state of being. When I was younger, I used to think healing required effort, discipline, progress, work. But now at this age, I know this. Healing can also happen through surrender, through letting the world hold you. Sit under a tree for a few minutes. Really sit. Feel the shade, the air, the quiet pulse of the earth beneath you. Notice how your shoulders begin to drop, how your chest opens without force. Nature teaches without speaking, she says. You belong. You are not separate. You are made of the same breath, the same elements, the same ancient dust. And the body understands this language perhaps better than any human language we've ever learned. If you can step outside for a short walk, it doesn't have to be far. A garden, a quiet street, a patch of sunlight by your doorway. You don't need mountains or forests. You only need to show up. When the wind touches your skin, let it touch your heart. When you hear birdsong, let it soften your thoughts. When sunlight warms your face, remember that warmth has been shining long before you were born, and it shines still. We spend so much of our life trying to return to who we were, but nature reminds us to return to who we already are. Not broken, not behind, not lost, just a part of something vast, gentle, and timeless. So today, even if only for 5 minutes, go outside. Place your hand on a tree or on the earth or simply over your own heart and breathe. Feel the world breathe with you. Because nature is not a place you visit. Nature is the home your soul has always remembered. Fan 5. Hito ko ituk by hoito chinla ko noijo linhon vate sak. You know, the older I get, the more I realize something simple, almost embarrassingly simple. We forget to breathe. Yes, of course, the body breathes on its own. The chest rises and falls moment after moment, ever since the day we arrived in this world. But the breath we do not notice does not heal us. There is a difference between breathing to survive and breathing to live. For most of our lives, the breath is shallow, quick, tight, trapped in the upper chest. This is the breath of stress, of alertness, of being prepared to defend, to work, to endure. But healing happens in a different breath, a slower breath, a breath that comes from the belly like the ocean tide, rising, expanding, softening, releasing. Buddhist monks call the breath the bridge, a bridge between the seen and the unseen, between body and soul, between thinking and simply being. When we stop and breathe consciously, truly breathe, something begins to shift, not in the mind, but in the body first. The shoulders drop, the jaw loosens, the heartbeat steadies, and suddenly we remember we are alive. So I want to offer you a quiet practice, something so small that it can fit in the space between two thoughts. Sit down. Anywhere, a chair, the edge of your bed, a bench in your garden. Let your hands rest where they want to rest. Close your eyes only if it feels comfortable. Inhale through your nose, slowly, not forcing, just allowing. Feel the air move into your chest, your ribs, your belly. Notice how the body opens to receive. Pause just for a moment, not holding, simply noticing. Then exhale gently like you are releasing something you no longer need. A memory, a tension, a worry that has been clinging to you for years. Do this 5 times, just 5, no goals, no perfection. And after the 5th breath, notice how your body has changed without effort. Notice how the world feels less urgent. Notice how there is a little more space inside you. This is where healing begins, not in therapy sessions alone, not in medication alone, not in retreats or rituals alone. Healing begins in the quiet moment where you return to your breath, where you return to yourself. Because the breath is not just air. It is the first thing you ever received in this life. And it will be the last thing you give back when your time here is complete. Between those 2 breaths is your entire existence. So breathe gently, breathe kindly, breathe like your life is something precious. Because it is, and it always has been. There comes a point in life, usually after we have lived through love, loss, disappointment, and a few quiet miracles, when we begin to realize something powerful. The past is heavy, not because of what happened, but because of what we continue to carry. We all have memories that settled into the body like stones, moments we could not forgive, Words we wish we could have spoken. Words we wish we could take back. People we loved who did not stay. Versions of ourselves we no longer recognize. And these memories, if we hold them too tightly, begin to live not just in the mind, but in the muscles, the heart, the breath. A tight shoulder can be a decade of trying to be strong. A heavy chest can be grief we never placed down. A tired back can be the weight of being the one who always held everything together. The body remembers what the mind tries to forget. But Buddhism teaches something gentle, something merciful. Letting go is not forgetting. Letting go is choosing not to suffer twice. The first pain was what happened. The second pain is the story we continue to tell ourselves about it. You deserve to be free from the second pain. So let us try this together, not as a performance, but as an offering to ourselves. Sit somewhere quiet. Place one hand on your heart, the heart that has survived every moment of your life so far. Place the other hand on your belly, the place where you hold your fear, your tenderness, your truth. Breathe in. And as you exhale, whisper softly like speaking to a wounded friend. I cannot change the past, but I can release its hold on my body. Say it again. Feel how the words land not in the mind, but lower, deeper. Let the memories come not to relive them, not to justify them, but to allow them to leave. You are not abandoning your history. You are allowing your body to rest. Because you have carried enough regret, enough guilt, enough silent punishment. You have earned gentleness. You have earned a lighter heart. When we release what has already ended, something beautiful happens. The breath deepens. The shoulders soften. The heartbeat steadies. The future opens quietly. Not as hope, not as promise, but as possibility. Letting go does not mean erasing the past. It means no longer letting the past own your body. So today, leave one memory on the ground. Let one weight slip out of your hands. Choose yourself just a little more than you did yesterday. Because healing is not just learning how to hold on. Healing is learning how to put things down. You know, there is something very sacred about the night. Not the loud night of television, bright screens, or endless scrolling, but the quiet night, the one many of us have forgotten. As we get older, sleep becomes something we chase, something we try to force, something we worry about. But sleep, true healing sleep, cannot be forced. It must be welcomed. In Buddhist teaching, sleep is seen as a return to the source, a time when the mind lays down its weapons, its arguments, its unfinished conversations, a time when the body begins to repair what the day has worn down. During sleep, the liver cleans the blood, the kidneys balance the fluids, the heart slows to a steady, gentle rhythm. Even the mind, which may chatter endlessly during the day, softens her voice. Night is not a pause in life. Night is when life renews itself. But we must meet the night halfway. If we go to sleep straight from worry, straight from stress, straight from the bright, buzzing noise of the world, the body never gets the message that it is safe to rest. So I want to invite you into a small ritual, one that honors the night and the beautiful gift it offers. About an hour before bed, begin to dim the world. Turn off harsh lights. Lower the volume of your thoughts, not by silence, but by gentleness. Make yourself a warm drink, herbal tea, lemon water, or simply warm water with a slow breath. Let your body know it is time to soften now. Put away the screens, not out of discipline, but out of respect for your nervous system. Screens speak the language of urgency. Night speaks the language of surrender. Then, before lying down, sit for a moment at the edge of your bed. Place your hand over your heart. Feel the day inside your body, the tension, the noise, the holding. And on your next exhale, let it go. Not all of it, just a little. Just enough to tell your body you don't have to carry the day into the night. When you lie down, feel the weight of the mattress supporting you. You are not holding yourself anymore. The earth is holding you. This is where healing begins, in this quiet letting go. Sleep is not just rest. It is the body rewriting itself, rebuilding, repairing, remembering how to be whole. So treat your nights as something sacred. Protect them, honor them, give them space. Because every morning you wake up, your body has written a new chapter of your life quietly, lovingly, faithfully while you slept. And you deserve mornings that feel like beginning rather than surviving. So tonight, let the world be. Let the day end. Let yourself rest. You are safe to rest now. Your body knows the way home. You know, silence is one of the rarest things in our world now. Not because sound is everywhere, but because the mind has forgotten how to be still. We live among constant noise, notifications, conversations, worries, plans, memories of the past, thoughts of the future. Even when the room is quiet, the mind is loud. But there is another kind of silence, a silence that doesn't depend on the world outside, a silence that lives inside you. Buddhism teaches that this inner silence is the doorway back to the self. Not the self shaped by years of responsibility or pain or identity, but the original self, soft, aware, spacious, unafraid. When we sit in silence, the mind will try to fill it. That is natural. Memories will appear, thoughts will run, emotions may rise like waves hitting the shore. Do not fight them, do not push them away, simply watch. Imagine sitting on the porch of your own consciousness, watching the weather of the mind pass by. Clouds come, clouds go, you remain. This is the gift of silence. It teaches you that you are not your thoughts. You are the one who is aware of them. And when you realize that, something inside relaxes, something inside breathes again, something inside says, "Ah, there I am." You don't have to meditate for hours. You don't need incense bells, chants, or perfect posture. Just give yourself 10 minutes of stillness each day. Sit. Place your hands gently where they feel natural. Close your eyes if it feels comfortable, and breathe slow, steady without trying to get anywhere. Let silence gather around you like evening light. At first, the noise inside might get louder. That's okay. That just means you're finally hearing what was already there. Stay. Stay a moment longer than the discomfort. Stay until the breath becomes warm. Stay until the body remembers it is safe. In this silence, your intuition awakens, your heart softens, your truth, the gentle, steady truth you have always known, rises to the surface. We spend so much of life searching for answers out there, but the wisest answers, the most healing answers, are whispered in the quiet spaces within. So sit with yourself, not to fix anything, not to improve anything, just to be with the one who has been living your life all along. You might be surprised to find that peace was not something to chase. It was something waiting for you patiently inside the silence. There is a kind of medicine that does not come in bottles, one that doctors cannot prescribe. Yet it has healed more hearts, more bodies, more lives than we will ever truly measure. Gratitude, not the polite thank you we say out of habit, but the quiet, steady recognition of the small miracles that continue to unfold in our lives, even on difficult days. As we grow older, we start to see something that youth is often too busy to notice. Life has always been quietly generous. The sunlight that warms the room in the morning, the lungs that still fill with air, the heart that has beaten without rest for decades, the body that even when tired continues to hold us. We forget these things because they happen without asking for attention. But gratitude is the act of remembering. You don't need to feel thankful for everything life has held. Pain, loss, and disappointment, but even in those moments there are embers of grace glowing softly. A friend who called, a breath that steadied, a morning where the light felt gentle again. Gratitude is not pretending everything is perfect. Gratitude is choosing to notice what is still good. And here is the quiet truth. The body responds to gratitude. When you sit for a moment and say, "Thank you for this breath," the nervous system softens, stress hormones decrease, the immune system strengthens. It is not magic, it is alignment. A heart filled with gratitude sends a message to the body, we are safe, we can heal now. So I offer you a simple evening ritual, one so small, it may feel almost invisible, but it will change you. Each night before bed, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They do not have to be profound. The taste of warm tea, a quiet morning, the sound of wind through the window, a memory that made you smile, a moment when you felt understood. Do this every night, not as a task, but as a way of returning home to yourself. And on days when gratitude feels far away, when the world feels heavy, look for something even smaller. I am grateful that I am still here. I am grateful for this breath. Sometimes that is enough, because a grateful heart does not have to be joyful. It only has to be open. And a heart that is open even slightly is a heart that can heal. So hold gratitude gently, like a candle in the dark, small but steady. And you may find that the darkness was never as strong as you feared. You know, one of the most misunderstood truths about healing is that the body remembers everything. Not just the joys, not just the good years, but the arguments we never resolved, the tears we swallowed instead of letting fall, the anger we pretended wasn't there, the grief we told ourselves to get over. Many of us were raised in a world where emotions were seen as weakness. So we learned to hold everything inside, to be strong, to endure, to keep going. But what the mind hides, the body holds. A tight chest is often unspoken sadness. A heavy back is often responsibility carried too long. A stiff neck is often words we forced ourselves not to say. An upset stomach is often fear we tried to ignore. The body speaks the truth that the mind is afraid to admit. Buddhism teaches that emotions are like weather. They pass if we allow them to. But if we lock them away, they stay not as feelings anymore, but as pain. So I want to offer you something simple, not dramatic, not overwhelming, just permission. Permission to feel. If sadness rises, let your eyes soften. If anger appears, recognize it like an old visitor, not a threat. If grief knocks on your heart, let it in for a moment. Offer it tea and listen. You do not have to solve the emotion. You only need to witness it. Sit somewhere quiet. Place a hand over your heart, the other over your belly. Take a slow, deep breath and say gently, "I see you." Not "I have to fix you," not "you shouldn't be here." Just "I see you." When emotions are seen, they soften. When they are heard, they loosen their grip. When they are allowed to rise, they finally have space to leave. Crying is not weakness, it is cleansing. Sighing is not frustration, it is release. Shaking hands are not fear, they are energy moving its way out. Your body is not betraying you, it is trying to free you. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to force anything. You only need to make a little space, a few breaths, a few moments of honesty. Because healing is not about holding yourself together. Healing is about allowing yourself to unfold. So today, if something rises, let it rise. If something needs to be released, allow it. Not all at once, not perfectly, just gently. Your body has carried you through a lifetime. It is time to let your body set one burden down. Just one, just for today. You know, life has a rhythm, a natural rhythm, and when we are young, we often try to push against it to do more, have more, become more, prove more. We push the body, we push the mind, we push the heart. But the older we get, the more we begin to understand something quiet, something steady. Peace lives in the middle, not in excess, not in deprivation, but in balance, like a stream of water flowing gently downhill, finding its path not through force but through harmony. In Buddhist teaching, this is called the middle way, neither too tight nor too loose, neither clinging nor rejecting, just enough. The body understands this naturally. It knows when it is hungry and when it is full. It knows when it is tired and when it is ready to move. It knows when it needs silence and when it needs connection. But somewhere along the way, many of us stopped listening. We let the world's pace replace our own. We confused urgency with importance. We forgot that rest is not laziness and effort is not always progress. Living in balance does not mean living small. It means living true. Eat until you are nourished, not stuffed, not starving. Work until your heart feels engaged, not overwhelmed, not numb. Speak when your voice carries kindness. Be silent when silence carries compassion. And above all, rest before you are exhausted. We often wait too long to stop. We rest only when the body breaks. But balance asks us to rest while we are still well, while the heart is still open, while the mind is still clear. Watch a river sometime. It does not rush. It does not resist. It flows where there is space. It pauses where there is stillness. It continues when it is time. You don't have to fight your life anymore. You don't have to earn your place here. You are allowed to soften into your days. So today, notice where you are forcing, where you are pushing, where you are ignoring your own inner voice, and simply loosen your grip. Not let go, just loosen. A small shift, a gentle easing, a quiet breath. Because healing is not found in extremes. It is found in the gentle act of honoring your own boundaries, your own pace, your own truth. Live like the river, clear, patient, steady, and always moving toward what feels like home. You know, we live in a world that moves fast, too fast sometimes. A world where people are expected to recover quickly, to move on, to stay strong, to keep going no matter what is happening inside of them. But the body, the heart, the spirit, they do not move at the speed of society. They move at the speed of nature, like the tides, like the seasons, like the way morning light slowly touches a room. Healing has its own timing, not ours. You cannot rush a wound into closing. You cannot force the heart to forget before it is ready. You cannot command the nervous system to relax just because you wish it would. There is a wisdom in the slow unfolding of life, a rhythm older than every plan and every expectation we have ever carried. When a tree loses its leaves in autumn, we don't say, "Why aren't you blooming? Hurry." We understand the tree needs winter, the silent season, to gather strength again. So why do we deny ourselves the same grace? Healing is not a task you complete. It is a season you move through. Some days you will feel lighter and the heart opens a little. Some days the weight returns, and that is okay too. This is the natural rhythm. Forward, pause, breathe. Forward, pause, breathe. Not forward, forward, forward. So if you are healing from grief, from exhaustion, from illness, from memory, let it take the time it needs. Sit with yourself without pushing. Let the quiet days be quiet. Let the slow days be slow. There's no competition in healing, no finish line, no behind or ahead. There is only the next small moment of honesty. This is where I am today, and that is enough. When we stop rushing ourselves, the body finally understands it is safe to heal. The breath deepens. The heart steadies, the nervous system softens, and something inside, something ancient and gentle whispers, "Thank you for not hurrying me." Healing is not about speed. Healing is about presence. So today, be patient with your process. Trust the pace your heart chooses. Honor the timing your body asks for. Because every slow second you give to yourself is not delay, it is devotion. You know, after all the lessons life has given us, the joy, the loss, the mistakes, the miracles, there is one truth that remains clearer than any other. The heart heals us, not knowledge, not strength, not control, but love, quiet, steady, gentle love. And I'm not talking about the grand love in movies or the love that demands or proves or tries to impress. I'm talking about the simple kind. The kind you feel when you sit beside someone who doesn't need you to be anything other than who you are. The kind of love that says, "I see you. I understand. You're safe here." This love begins with compassion, not just for others, but for yourself. Because if we have lived long enough, we have all done things we regret. We have all lost people. We have all hurt and been hurt. That is the nature of being human. But the heart is wise. It knows how to forgive, soften, start again. When you look at yourself with kindness, truly look, the body relaxes like a child being told, it's going to be okay. The breath deepens, the nervous system calms, the immune system strengthens. Compassion is not sentimental, it is biological, it is medicine. Try this. The next time you are disappointed in yourself, pause. Place your hand over your heart. Feel its warmth. Feel its rhythm, steady, patient, loyal. And whisper, I am allowed to be human, because you are. And when it comes to others, forgiveness is not about saying what happened was right. Forgiveness is about choosing not to carry poison in your own bloodstream. Let love soften what has become rigid. Let compassion melt what is hardened. Let understanding take the place of judgment. You don't have to change the world. You don't have to change anyone else. Just open the door of your heart, even a little, just enough for light to enter. Buddhism teaches that when the heart is open, even slightly, the whole world changes shape. Pain becomes teacher, loneliness becomes invitation, fear becomes doorway. Love does not fix life, it accompanies it. And sometimes what we need most is simply not to walk alone. So be gentle with your heart. Be gentle with the hearts of those around you. Speak softly even when you disagree. Offer warmth even when you feel tired. Let love be the language you return to. Because at the end of every journey, after all the healing, all the searching, all the lessons, it is the heart that remains. It was the first doctor, it will be the last, and it has never stopped trying to save you.